The ordinary, the usual, the norm. What you see are people going with their everyday lives, and that's no question. But to have us under the realization that every single person has a life as complex as your own. That's everything but ordinary. Compassion entails its existence in your state of mind. It's a necessity, but a lot of people do not have it. Let me ask you this. Do you have a sonder? Can you fathom the thought that people are going through the same impediments as yours? Or would it not matter because they are but a complete stranger?
Question po. Can I ask po, what motivates you to pursue taking care of special people?
I have a child who was diagnosed with uh, ADHD. That's the reason why I had to shift from counseling profession, special education. So I used to be a guidance counselor in an all-boys institution in Mandaluyong. Tapos, I was exposed to children who have special needs when I was there. So that was the turning point when I wanted not to do counseling anymore. Rather, to pursue teaching children with special needs. Motivates me, probably the presence of the children that I am teaching. Knowing that they need their teachers the most, that motivates me.
Would you consider your profession as your calling? If yes, what made you discover that it is your calling na po?
I think not. Never. I never wanted to be a teacher. I never liked kids. No, my mom would always say, ayon ayon ko sa bata. When she would tell me na, oh, may magkakaroon ka na ng kapatid. Ayoko, nagagalit daw ako. Na I would be fuming mad when I was a kid. I really wanted to become a lawyer. Siguro ang nangyari sa akin, yung tagapagtanggol na ako ng mga batang special. No? And how do I do that? I write researches. I tell stories about them in my researches. And I wanted for them to get what they needed, to get what they have to get by writing researches for them. The most famous research I had was readiness of the teachers, inclusive education in our school. Kasi nakita akong problema yun, na hindi ready mga teachers namin sa regular class to accept kids or children with special needs or learners with special needs in their regular classes. Tinatanggap nila, oo, pero nandun sa isang tabi, hindi naman nila tinuturuan. So, how ready are we, no, in terms of having inclusion in education in our school? So, yun yung pinaglaban ko. So, I'd rather show these children genuine love. Kasi para sa akin, love begets love. So, minahal ko yung bata, minahal ako ng mga bata, minahal din ako ng profession ko. Dumating ako sa point na pati pagpapa-cut ng hair kasama ko. Pag may bagyo tapos walang pasok, tatawag si parent, ma'am, pakikausap po. So, I would sing to the child, no, over the phone. Tapos yun, aaliwin ko yung bata, i-explain ko bakit walang pasok kasi talagang nagwawala yung bata. So, I have those. So, how can you not love not the profession if these are the things that you have been experiencing? At the very first day of classes, ang laging sinasabi sa kanila, i-entrust niyo yung mga bata sa akin dahil mamahalin ko ng katulad ng anak ko.
So are there any personal sacrifices you've made due to your profession po, and have they all paid off?
There was one time na may bata akong kasing, sa klase ko, I have 3 students with seizure disorder, yung epilepsy, nagsi-seizure. Ang itsura ko ganito, ito yung table ko, ito ako may kausap ako nanay dito kasi that's the start of the day. Nag-free play pa yung bata, may kausap akong, imagine yung bata nandun kasi semicircular yung table nila. Hindi ko alam kung paano ko tinalon yung table sa harap ko para maka-jump ako sa bata kasi nagulat ako na may biglang may hindi na commotion. I don't know what happened. Paano ko rin nakita or siguro kasi ako pag may kausap, kahit may kausap, ang mata ko nasa bata pa din. So hindi ko na alam paano ko tinalon from here to the place of the child. At ang unang-una kong ginawa, isinulo ko yung paa ko para masalo yung ulo niya. So, I think yun yung mga bagay na hindi man nasa-sacrifice. Rather, nasa-sacrifice ko yung actually yung time, like that time, nung sinasabi ng mga co-teachers ko, ang umalingaw-ngaw sa school that time. Ang OA ko daw, kinailangan ko pandalin yung bata sa ER ng hospital. Pero prior leaving, I instructed the parents not to leave my children, yung mga bata na nandun, and instructed two of my neighboring teachers to look after my kids. Kasi yun ang ayaw ko, yung may iwan ng bata ko na wala sa paningin ko.
How was teaching PWDs different from other forms of teaching?
So what sets them apart, what makes them so special, is that they are extra special. I always say na like a child with Down syndrome may extra chromosome. So may extra love na may bibigay yung bata. So for me what sets them apart, most likely is that they need us the most. Ang lagi ko nga palang sinasabi, they are tabula rasa, blank slate. The teachers are the ones who put something on that blank slate, no, for them to learn, for them to develop. Okay, kasi with special children, it's not always that it's the learning that, I mean in terms of academic, yung learning sa academic, it's not always that. It's more of making them typically developing in terms of their social skills, in terms of their what else? Communication, kasi most likely delayed ang speech niyan. So ma-develop lang ito, no, the ones that are essential to them.
How about po in terms of environment po? Like you mentioned po, you were your past profession was counseling po before you shift to being a special ed teacher po. How different po is the environment?
Oh, it's really different in terms of being surrounded with kids rather than when in counseling. I always the main routine that I had was to call students one by one, the parents and the students together. So this time I'm always surrounded with kids, no? Anong counselor ako, iyak lang ang lagi ko nakikita. Dito may uhog, no? May dugo, may mga ihi, may pupu. So that's it. Yun yung difference ng environment. Yung mga ganitong mess na sinasabi nila with the kids are just normal, no? Yun nga yung isa sa reason why they are sent to school. Yung self-help skills na itinuturo namin sa kanila. So that's one. Especially if ang bata nag-menstruation na, part of it, no, teaching them how to change their pads, no, tapos when they go to the bathroom, maghuhugas sila ng maayos, etc., etc. So those are part of the self-help skills. That's the main difference of being in the counseling, or at least being in teaching in the university. Sobrang layo.
During your past years po, what are the potential obstacles in helping PWDs, and what advices can you give to others in overcoming them po?
Let me just put it this way. When I have a teacher trainee, mga student teachers, mga interns, I always tell them, I'm not going to grade you on how you teach the children math, English, reading, no? Rather, I would grade you on how you manage the children for you to teach them. I'm coming from the perspective na sinasabi ko din sa sarili ko yon. I'm not there to teach the children how to draw, how to count, how to read. Rather, I'm there to manage them to do these things. Siguro that was the most challenging part. Yung ma-set aside ko yung awa, rather, I wanted to love them. Because when I started loving the children, that is when I will start, no, not just doing my job, rather doing it with an extra mile. So yun yung dalawang encounter na sa tingin ko challenging sa profession ko. And how did I go through it? I just have been myself in terms of professionalism, of course, that's one. Another, yung awa, siguro in time na overcome ko na yun, no? May mga time dati na umiiyak ako pag nakikita ko sila nasa stage kasi natatouch ako, naawa ako, and etc. Now, when I see them perform on stage, I'm crying because I'm happy. I always tell the parents, no, how happy I am.
What advices pa po can you give if meron po silang naging circumstance na ayun po, they have like a child with special needs po talaga, ganun. So, are there any advices po? Like,
It's always prevention is better than cure. If and when you see something na very unusual, red flags to your children at the age of 3, konti pa lang ang words na nasasabi, wala siyang eye contact, super active, or hyperactive, no? Baka may red flag na. Always seek for professional help. No? The developmental pediatrician, ask the teacher if the child is already in school, ask the teacher. Kasi the teacher will be the one who tell you na, oh, iba nga po yung behavior niya no, sa loob ng classroom. So, that's the only thing that the parents need to do. And again, acceptance. It's really hard. No, I can speak for that parent. No, it's really hard to accept that something's wrong. No, na something's wrong to that matter. Pero there's actually nothing wrong. It's just that the child needs something na hindi kailangan na ibang bata. Okay, so the acceptance talaga yun yung pinakamahirap. Okay, so those are the things that they have to look for, the red flags. And when the time comes na explain sa kanila, nandun na yung acceptance. Darating yun.
We have divulged the inner depth of the PWD spectrum. Helped by Mrs. Lea Galvez, the light was shunned in the gray area of disabilities and impairment, especially the mental scope. Furthermore, the hope of destroying the stigma in mental health disabilities and the minority in general is reinforced.